Radio.
Broadcasting live from downtown Las Vegas, you're tuned in to Gorilla Cross Radio.
Oh, we live. All right. Here we go. Wednesday night. Hanging out at the Gorilla Cross Radio studios here in downtown Las Vegas. I'm your host, Jose V. This is another episode of Straight Bet Sports. Coming to you live from Las Vegas, Nevada, downtown Las Vegas. Greatly appreciate each and every person up here in the studio. We got Quan right now walking around. Got to get everybody right on the cameras as always. Come on, let's go. One. Got everybody? Rob, you good? You in the right spot now?
I'm always in the right spot.
We got a good show for you guys tonight, man. I want to thank everybody in the studio. Tonight, Quan is taking the night off. He is not behind the big board. We got James behind the big board tonight. Greatly appreciate you, brother. Doing
Absolutely,
what you do
man.
as well.
You're good. Thank you.
Yes, sir. And we got Joel B in the background. And two guests in the studio, which we're not going to have on camera yet because we want to make sure we do things right tonight and get nobody in trouble. We got Adam Plant Jr., defensive lineman out of UNLV. Recently of TCU, transferred back home, Bishop Gorman grad. Glad to have you in studio. We're going to talk to him here shortly as well. And we got Pops in the building as well, Adam Plant Sr. You know him from Mayweather, Tekashi 6ix9ine, those type of jobs that he's had, you know. But we'll talk about that later on in the show. It's going to be a fun show tonight, Rob. I'm excited. We went to the Lights game earlier, right before here, just to go hang out for a little bit, talk about that. I'm still watching it here, 1-1. Lights tied it up. If you guys are watching the soccer, it is on ESPN+. Now, before we get going and before we do our first segment of the night, I want to give a quick shout out to someone out there in the social media world, betting as well. She is none other than Lady D from Betting and Heels. Now, if you guys do not follow her, go follow her on Twitter, on all social media platforms right now. She is on fire right now. Her last 11 NHL plays, ladies and gentlemen, she is 10-1. Last night, she took the Canucks. She went against the hometown Knights, but hey, she was right. Put her at 10-1 so far in her last 11 matches there. That's interesting, Rob.
Was there a play today?
No, I didn't watch it. I don't know if she had one, but 11 plays, 10-1 in hockey.
That's an impressive streak.
What's the best streak you've had?
I honestly couldn't even tell you. I can only say I went 11 and 1 in our tournament last year.
So wait, that was when you broke my record? I was what, 10-0?
No, I think you were like 8.
It was 8?
8.
Okay. Yeah, if you guys know, we got a little handicap contest that me and Rob do that we've done the last 3 years running with our good friend Jimbo, which hopefully we're going to have him on the show next week because we're going to do our NFL rundown and break down the divisions, give our division winners who we think is going to win the conferences there and go to the Super Bowl and try to give our Super Bowl champs right off the bat, man. It should be a fun show next week.
Already?
Yeah, already, bro. Right around the corner. Football starts Thursday, the very next day, man.
Yeah, let's go. I'm excited.
But with that being said, let's go ahead and pay some bills here real quick. Let you guys know who we are sponsored by and who we are being brought to you by every single night. We are being brought to you by Joshua LaFon with Simply Vegas Real Estate, a realtor here to help educate current and future Las Vegas locals on selling and investing in real estate. You're probably asking yourself, educate. Yes, there's a surprising amount of adults that when it comes to real estate, don't know the right questions to ask, don't know where to start, and think they need a lot of cash to buy a house in Nevada, which simply isn't true. So Josh has decided to make it his responsibility to teach his clients what they need to know, and equally important, what they need to ask to help ensure making their home ownership dreams a reality. So make sure you call or text Joshua LaFon today at 702-813-0533. This has been another paid advertisement from Joshua LaFon with Simply Vegas Real Estate, 702-813-0533. Now, before we get going with our first segment here, the Night Rob, or Sports Topics Parlay of the Night, as we like to call it, if you guys are watching this, you're watching it on our Facebook page, on the Gorilla Cross Radio Facebook page, or the Jose V page. Make sure you like, comment. If you have something to say, if you have a question or something you want to talk about, or even anything for our guest here. As long as you stay within the lines and we keep it respectful, we can go ahead and do that. Not only that, on Twitter, at Jose _Volonte, Gorilla Cross Radio as well. It's being streamed in there. And the YouTube page is Gorilla Cross Radio. That's where it's streamed live every single Wednesday night. And if you want to catch all of the shows afterwards, on YouTube, Jose V, Straight Bet Sports. With that being said, Rob, let's go ahead and jump right into it with our sports topics parlay of the night. The first one is Georgia, and this is a good one because we have a college student here, a college football player, so I want to get his thoughts on this later as well. But Georgia Bulldogs quarterback, starting quarterback, okay? They said he was going to start this season. Jamie Newman decided to opt out over concerns due to the coronavirus. Now, he is going to be the starting quarterback there at Georgia. He did decide to opt out this past Wednesday. Now, he is ranked 6 potentially in a lot of his rankings here when it comes to Todd McShay and other people coming into the draft. So he's got a high draft stock in a way, depending on where you're going to get drafted at. He's a starting quarterback for a Power 5 conference school in Georgia. Are we going to see more of this for more of the starters that are in prime positions, meaning quarterback position, running back position, those type of spots that you are going to rely heavily on these players? Is that something that you see we're going to continue to see moving forward?
Yep, absolutely, 100%. I mean, we don't know anybody's background. You know, there's so many college students out there, or college athletes, excuse me, that, you know, are going to play because their conference says that we got to play, right? So I absolutely think that we're going to see a lot more people opt out coming in, and big names too. Big names, you know, starting quarterback for Georgia opted out, you know.
It's huge.
That's huge. Absolutely. Especially with the draft coming, you know, with the draft and people announcing whether they're going to go, you know, to the draft. I think LSU,
Do you think it hurts? Do you think it hurts his draft stock at all, or his draft status whatsoever? Like, what is he going to do throughout this time that he's opting out? Is he going to continue to work out? Is he going to continue to put up film and stuff for us to see? You know, what is he going to do though?
What is he? What's his freshman?
Let's see what his.
If he's a freshman or a sophomore,
he's a graduate transfer from Wake Forest, so this is basically his senior season, I'm guessing.
Into the draft. Wow.
Exactly.
That's
so basically at that point,
decision. That's probably why it's one of the bigger decisions so far, because you opting out and you're the starting quarterback of Georgia is a huge thing. And I do think that we are going to see more people though.
With some of the stuff that he did, said he, quote, "I would like to thank Coach Kirby Smart for extending the opportunity for me to be a part of the University of Georgia football program," Newman said on Twitter. "Although my time has been short, I've built some great relationships and I've had a chance to continue my development." So I agree with you. I think we see more of this because there's a lot of conferences, like you said, that he decided not to play. Mountain West being one of them. They decided to push it back to spring. We're going to talk about that here shortly with Adam as well. The Big Ten being one of the biggest ones, especially with President Trump now being out there trying to get it started.
Yeah.
I reached out to Sean Wade. I don't know if you know him, cornerback for Ohio State. I reached out to his dad. On Twitter. He's willing to come on the show. I heard him on ESPN, so I'm like, hey, let me see if we get him on. He's willing to talk. He's been big with protests, with trying to go to the Big Ten offices and show that they want more answers, because I guess they're not getting what they want. They're just saying we're not going to play the season, but they have no ultimatum or how they can actually try to find a way to make the season work. So that should be an interesting conversation if we get that going there as well. But it's something that it's going to continue to happen, especially with COVID. It's not going to go away whatsoever. It's something that's going to be here. It's not going to go away whatsoever.
Just think about how many people are going to opt out in the middle of the season. You know, like just say, hey, I'm done. I'm done because somebody tested positive on the team or some, you know.
Do you think we see someone from like Alabama?
Oh, yeah.
Or Clemson?
It's inevitable.
Somebody big?
Especially in college, like, you know, they're traveling, they're doing all this. So they're moving not one side of the country to the other, but they're moving, you know, they're out and about. And they're college kids, you know, they're going to try to, somebody got caught trying to sneak, you know, a girl in, and it's going to happen for sure. And big places too, Alabama, LSU, everywhere.
Moving on from that, we'll talk more college football because, like I said, we do have a college football player in the studio with us tonight. Adam Plant Jr. from UNLV joining us. We'll be talking to him here shortly. Moving on, continue to football. Jimbo, if you're watching and you're listening, man, your guy, Kirk Cousins, says, if I die, I die, on a podcast that he was on. I'm not sure what he was thinking or what was going on with this guy, what was going on in his head, but he had to come back and clarify his comments because I'm not sure if you saw, but Ryan Clark basically came out and destroyed him on ESPN earlier today.
I haven't seen anything when it comes to like the comebacks or anything yet. You just sent me that this morning, and
It was, now, he came out and said, and I quote, What I was trying to say back then, admittedly, I probably wasn't as clear as I would have liked to have been, Cousins said. But what I wanted to say then, what I would echo again now, is that while the virus does not give me a great amount of personal fear, there's still great reason for me to engage in wearing a mask and social distancing and washing my hands as frequently as I can. The quote continues to go on from there, but this just goes back to you have to watch out with what you're saying, regardless of how you're saying it, because there's tough situations everywhere. We have situations where we're hearing players on teams that their teams don't want to play with them anymore because of their social media stance or what they post out there. And now you're seeing stuff like this. Like, he's got to be careful, bro.
I didn't interpret it as like he's saying that I don't wear my mask or that I don't care about anyone else's health. I just think it's more of just, hey, I'm going to play and I'm not opting out. That's just another way of him saying I'm not opting out. Was it the right way to say it? Obviously not. But that's the way that I understood it. I didn't even think about the way of, or people taking it as, oh, I'm not wearing a mask, or I'm not going to do this, or I'm not going to follow the guidelines and stuff like that. He has to. If he's going to play this year, he has to follow all the guidelines. So
with that being said, what do you think about Kirk this year, though?
He's
We're gonna see the typical Kirk Cousins.
Oh, absolutely.
Coming from behind.
Yep.
That's why his numbers are padded. That's how I see it. At least.
Not that. Well, that was more with the
Stefan's
skin.
gone now. Though.
That was more with the Skins. When he, padded his stats towards the end of the game because they were always trailing. But I think with the Vikings, I just think overall Kirk Cousins is fool's gold. He didn't deserve what he got.
Fool's gold.
Fool's gold. Yeah, that's the right word for it. Dwight Howard. Otherwise known as Dwight Howard. They're not gonna go anywhere with Kirk Cousins. This is it for him. Honestly, I feel like this is the last year that they should give him a shot. If he doesn't do well this year, you got to move on.
A lot of money there. A lot of money there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Imagine Teddy would have stayed around.
Yeah.
But we'll see what I think. I know we're going off topic, but I think Teddy's gonna have a good year this year.
Carolina?
I think the fact that he has someone like Christian McCaffrey in the background that not only can run the ball but can catch the ball, and he's a leader, it's gonna help him out a lot. It's gonna alleviate a lot of the pressure off him, I think, for sure. But moving on, we saw some great NBA basketball today. Miami took a 2-0 commanding lead against Milwaukee, the number 1 overall seed in this NBA playoffs. I mean, Rob, is it time for Milwaukee fans to start getting scared and nervous here and start worrying? Because, I mean, I've said it throughout the year, and I'm going to continue to say it. Milwaukee cannot be a one-man band. They got to give Giannis a lot more support. I know it was a close game, only lost by 2 tonight. It wasn't a blowout. But Giannis needs more support. This has LeBron and Cleveland early years written all over it.
I think they are giving him support. I just think that Giannis is not a fourth quarter player, and when they're when they're down, like I think I said this 2 weeks ago already. When they're down, there is no comeback factor in Giannis. He's just good at maintaining a lead. He's got so many role players around him. Middleton, is it Bledsoe? Bledsoe, right? He's got so many role players, and they need to do their part as well. But Miami's a really good team, though. Don't take anything away from Miami. Like, they are a really good team.
They're sleepers. And Eric Spoelstra, man, the job he's doing with that team.
Yeah, he's got the experience. I mean, he's got the experience in the playoffs, so he knows how to coach the players. But yeah, I did not expect them to be up 2-0. Maybe a split, but not definitely 2-0. But it's not over, though. I'm not saying Miami's out of it. Bucks are out of it. I mean, I could easily see them coming back from a 2-0.
But see, this also goes back and ties back to the whole home court advantage. If we're in Milwaukee, are we seeing a different result? I say no, just because Miami has already owned Milwaukee this year, record-wise.
Home court is definitely going to play a factor in the playoffs.
It's going to be huge.
Yeah. So it may even be 2-0 Bucks with home court advantage, but this is the world we live in, and they're down 0-2, and you got to just take it to the board again.
I got to give a big shout out to Tyler Hero, though, man. He's balling. I don't think they talk about him as much.
They're all balling on Miami. That's a good squad.
Tyler Hero, 17 points off the bench, man. 32 minutes. Played a lot of minutes for an off-the-bench player there tonight. But good game there, man. Miami takes the 2-0 lead. We'll see if we get 3-0 or if Milwaukee gets one coming up here in a few days. Next thing here, Rob, that we're going to talk about before we get into our conversation here with Adam Plant Jr. from UNLV. Oklahoma City, Houston, we just saw the final here. I said the series would go 7. I said OKC would win it. Hey,
they blew it.
Great series, though. Let's be real. Let's give credit. Let's give credit to the guy that people said had no hamstrings left. No ankles, no knees. He carried Oklahoma City.
Yep, he did, and I feel so bad for him because obviously he got the short end of the stick, and when he was playing with the Clippers.
Yep. And
he just can't get over that hump in the playoffs either. So I really feel for Chris Paul, great leader. Definitely carried that team throughout this playoffs, and of course again just couldn't get over the hump.
Not only that, Harden only had 17 points, 1 of 9 from the three-point line, but yet Houston still finds a way to pull this game off and win at the end. Like you said, bad possession at the end there. They couldn't get a shot off when they should have. It's just horrible possession at the end, but
That was a horrible. Yeah, you inbound the ball to Steven Adams. I mean, I know that's like the last resort, but I don't even understand why he's even on the court. There's like 1 second left. Like, what do you expect him to do when you're inbounding it from the sideline?
yeah, man, it is what it is, though. But that is a final. Houston wins it 104-102 in 7. Next will be Los Angeles Lakers, man. It's going to be a good one there, definitely. I think Houston could give them a little bit of trouble, but they don't play that much defense.
The NBA sure hopes that they give him a little bit of trouble. They need as many games as
NBA
possible.
needs 6.
NBA needs at least 6.
At
in this
least
series.
6 in this series.
At least 6.
If we're going to throw out the conspiracy theory, they need 6.
Yeah.
At least 6 in this series for sure.
ABC.
ABC. Once again, you are listening to Straight Bet Sports here on the Gorilla Cross Radio Network. I am your host, Jose V. Rob G to my left. James taking care of us behind the big board tonight. Joel B in the background doing what he does. Now let's go ahead and jump right into it, with our first guest of the night, Adam Plant Jr. Greatly appreciate you coming in the studio. Adam Plant Sr., we definitely got you on as well. But like I said, we're going to try to make it more about your son today, because we want to talk to him, see what he's got going on overall, see what's in his mind and his thoughts, how excited he is to get going with this football season coming up here in the spring that I believe they're going to let you guys play. But welcome in, gentlemen. How are you both doing tonight? Uh-oh. Adam's mic is off. Let's go.
We good?
There we go.
Hey, doing great, man. Thank you for having us on.
I thought you had a tasty tea in your mouth that man, you couldn't.
Oh,
So how's everything going? Everything good, Adam?
yes, sir. Great.
Happy to have you on, man. How's everything been so far with the stoppage of football and COVID and everything for you so far? And then coming back home and being here at UNLV now.
It was great getting back home, being back home with my family. We able to start our business, Tasty Cheesecakes.
There you go.
Just being back in the culture of Vegas, being here for 12 years overall. It's a great feeling to be back, having Allegiant Stadium here, new coaching staff here. So, it was a very humbling experience.
So let's take a step back. Let's go back to your high school days when you were a bit younger, when you were at Bishop Gorman. Talk about your Bishop Gorman days. What did you take from what you learned in high school? You were highly recruited as well. You were high overall ranking. In your
Four-star DN.
There you go, 4-star DN. That's why we had to have pops on.
Autocorrect.
Autocorrect, exactly. Automatic autocorrect, right? But yeah, talk about that and what you learned at your days at UNLV. I'm sorry, at Bishop Gorman, and that what you took with you into your college career at TCU and now moving forward into UNLV.
Basically, overall, just a camaraderie. Having a lot of my teammates that I grew up with since I was, 8, 9 years old. We're all playing at different universities, prestigious universities around the country. All of us is coming in with a goal and a mindset that we was going to take everything that we got here and just make the best out of it. And, we just grinding out with each other. We made each other's better every day. I would say, real talk, our practice is probably more physical and more serious
At
than
Gorman?
our games were. Yeah.
Really? And you were there during the Tony Sanchez era, right? Before he went to UNLV?
Yeah, that was my freshman year in high
right?
school.
Okay. Got it. So it was a lot more intense.
Yeah.
Really? How so? Can you elaborate a little bit on it?
I mean, you got to think about it. We have my homie EA, he's a 5-star linebacker. We got Brevin Jordan, 5-star tight end. Dorian's a 5-star quarterback. We got my homie Speedy, Cedric. They're both 4 or 5-star receivers. And then you got me on the DN. So, we're very competitive, and we always hang out with each other outside of football. So, when we're on the field, we want to make each other better, but we're going to push each other at the same time.
So Adam, you also played football, correct? If I'm not mistaken.
I started at right tackle for the BC Lions 2002.
So
prior to that was brought to camp with the Kansas City Chiefs.
okay.
Prior to that, played at Long Beach City College national champ 1995. New Mexico Highlands 1997. Voted the best offensive lineman to play at the school.
So with that being said, going back to junior, knowing that your dad does have football background and pedigree,
Yes, sir.
was that something that encouraged you to jump into choosing football as the main sport for you to go after?
Well, initially, when I was 3 years old, my mom was the first one to put the ball in my hand.
Mama,
Really?
Give all credit to Mama.
Okay.
Tamika Plant.
There you go.
And then when we
Shout
lived
out.
in Long Beach, California, we would go out to Pomona when I first started football with the Pomona Steelers. At first, I had fun at a couple practices, but then once I started getting into it, I didn't really like it like that. And then really applied to me until I got to Vegas in 2008, and I really found a knack and a love for the game. And
Gotcha.
from then on, Pop took me under his wing, instilled all his knowledge inside of me, and the rest was history.
So you got. Oh, go ahead.
Well, what position did you play growing up?
defensive end.
Oh, the whole time.
Yeah.
You never.
Yeah, I would go back and forth to offensive tackle, defensive end, and then when I was 10 years old, when I played for the NYA Rebels,
Okay.
I played defensive end, offensive tackle, tight end, receiver, running back,
Whatever.
everything.
So you guys are originally from California or from Vegas?
South Central
No.
Los Angeles.
What part?
10th Avenue in Jefferson, the heart of the city.
66 Menlo.
There you go.
Grew up,
Yes,
born and
sir.
raised. Been out here
Yes,
a few
sir.
years now too.
Yeah,
It's good to have people from my own backyard in the studio. That's
Oh,
cool,
yeah.
man. It's always a good thing for sure.
Yes,
We got
sir.
Adam Plant Jr., UNLV D lineman, and we also got Pops in the building, Adam Plant Sr. with Tasty Teas.
Yes, sir.
Got the shirt on.
Huh?
Tasty Teas Cheesecake. If you haven't been following on Instagram, you have to. He's been all over the place, man, traveling, delivering all that cool stuff there for sure. But going back to Adam Jr., I want to talk about a little bit of your days at TCU. So you were there for a whole season. You pretty much played every game of the season, I believe, if I do have that correct.
Yeah.
Talk about how it was playing for someone like Gary Patterson, and not only that, on the defensive side of it, Coach Chad Glasgow. How was that experience there as well?
It was a great experience. Coach Gary Patterson gave me the opportunity to play Division I football at TCU. Took that with the most humblest experience. I had a great time there in Texas, being in a different atmosphere, a different setting, having to deal with a lot of different things that I'm not comfortable where I wasn't used to. But as an overall, he was a great coach. Coach Glasgow was a great coach. Real aggressive. He's gonna get at you every day, but in the end, he means the best.
So it's Big 12 football, different conference, right?
Yeah.
You're coming into the Mountain West now. You've seen the style of play from the Big 12. You haven't played in the Mountain West yet.
Right.
Have you studied a lot of film? Have you watched a lot of different games, not just UNLV games, but other games from other teams in the conference as well, to try to
Absolutely.
see the similarities and the differences?
Oh yeah. You look at the Big 12 offense. Some teams are more heavy run teams. Overall, they're more of a spread offense. Across the board. A lot of, open up and throw the ball to a lot of people. Mountain West, you have some teams that are known more for running the ball. You have some teams known for airing it out. Some have very dynamic and crazy offenses that some would say, but it works out in favor for them. A lot of schools like Boise State, Hawaii. You have other schools like Wyoming that a lot of people really don't give a lot of credit to, but they run a great offense as well.
What can you tell us about Justin Rogers? He's also transferring with you.
Yeah.
You guys are both coming in. How excited are you about that? How do you guys know each other well and everything?
Yeah,
And
I'm very excited. I got a chance to meet Justin when I first got to TCU. We always kept a real good friendship with him. When I found out that he was coming to UNLV like I was real excited. I hit him up, the first day, and then from then on, we just continue to build a brotherhood and relationship with each other.
So I've been told by a few people in a good way that your pops is very hands-on, that he likes to be involved in what you got going on
Right.
with your football career and your schooling and all that. Is he a little over the top, or is he just right and you can handle him?
No, not at all. This is the man that took me under his wing and taught me everything I know. So who am I to say that he's not allowed to be a part of this like I am, And a lot of people, outside, they don't have the same father and son relationship like me and him have, Unfortunately, some people weren't blessed to have that, I take that with a humbling experience every day. I
course.
thank God for it every day. So I'm glad that he's here with me.
All right, so
Well said.
well said. Yeah. Aside from the hometown and coming back to UNLV and the shiny new stadium and the shiny new practice facilities and the shiny new coach,
Right.
aside from that, from all the big stuff, from all the lights, what was it more than anything that wanted you to come home? Did Pops talk to you? Did your mom? Did your family? Or was it was a no-brainer?
Having a lot of conversations with my family, each and every day. Took up to the last day, really, for me to leave TCU.
Really?
Yeah, but, at the end of the day, family is the most important thing. We all sat down and made a conscious decision for me to come back home. It was the best thing for me.
So how did that conversation go with the TCU coaching staff or the athletic department over there? Like, did you talk to Coach Gary Patterson first? Did you talk to the athletic department? How did that work?
I talked to the athletic directors, let them know that I was meaning to get into
The transfer portal?
Yeah. And then I talked to my position coach, Don Sharp, and then I talked to Gary Patterson, broke down the situation, everything that was going on with me and my family, they understood everything.
Very supportive.
Yeah, wish me the best, And then, I think I'm thankful for my time at TCU. I'm glad I'm here at UNLV now.
Anything you regret from your days at TCU that on your maybe whether it's your playing field when you were on the playing field or in the books in the school learning? Is there anything you regret that you wish you could have done differently, or all went well while you were there?
Not at all. There's always goods and bads in every opportunity that you have in life. You never have any regrets for anything. I learned a lot of things at TCU from school and from people, from football. I met a lot of people. Had a lot of great friendships, relationships with a lot of people. So, you know, it was a great experience for me to have there. You know, I'm still friends with a lot of people there to this day.
So you went away. You weren't not that far, but you weren't home anymore.
Right.
Your family wasn't there the way you're used to having them just being able to go home right after school. A lot of kids that go into college their first year and leave and go to another state and they're far away from home, thousands of miles or hundreds of miles, they might be depressed. They may get upset. They might feel alone because they don't have their support system there.
Right.
Did you go through any of that while you were at TCU in your first year?
No, I mean, the only thing I had close to that, you know, was the drive, you know, going to the airport. You know, you get those last little minute jitters. You know, you finally realize that, you know, the time is here now. You know, family's not going to be here with you. You know, we all had our crying moments in the car and stuff. But, you know, once I got off the plane, you know, I settled in. You know, and I was here for a mission.
Nice, nice. Once again, he is Adam Plant Jr., D lineman here from UNLV, transferred from TCU, hometown. Bishop Gorman grad, talking some football, some UNLV, his past here at TCU, what he went through, how the whole transfer decided to come about. Now, you were going to have to wait originally, but due to them not playing the season when it was supposed to be played, you're eligible right away, right, when the season does get started here once again, correct?
Right.
How excited were you to hear that, knowing that you didn't have to sit out a whole year?
It was a big stress reliever for me. You know, I've been having to, you know, had this in the back of my mind since I first transferred in January. And, you know, just dealing with compliance, you know, just talking with my family, you know, weighing in the ins and outs, but always trying to keep a positive mindset about it. And it's to finally hear the words and finally to see it just come out in light, you know, I was just ecstatic.
So my other question for you is, how did the whole transfer part of it go? And what I mean by that was, did you already know you wanted to come to UNLV? Were you did someone already reach out to you from UNLV, or was it, I think I want to transfer now, I'm gonna go talk to TCU and go about it that way?
You know, I had a conversation with my family already. We already had the mindset, you know, to come back home. We already knew, you know, we was doing something else special. And then also hearing about the Raiders coming back in town. So, you know, it was a win-win. And once we, you know, got everything established with that, you know, I just set the word to TCU and just came back home, went on from there.
So how was the recruiting pitch for Marcus Arroyo? Did you talk to him? Was it someone else that came out and tried to recruit you?
Yeah, once I entered the transfer portal, you know, I had a short conversation with Coach Arroyo over Twitter. And then once I took my official, you know, we sat down and talked a lot. You know, he's a very great coach. You know, he's a smart dude, still very young for a head coach, but, you know, he brings a lot of swagger and a lot of stuff that we need on his team.
Talk about the defensive coordinator, because you've already been with these coaches already, right? You guys got to practice a bit before everything re-shut down and all this.
Right.
Talk about your D coordinator. I believe it's who is it? Peter Hansen?
Yeah, Peter Hansen.
Talk about your D coordinator, and not only that, Fry, the strength and conditioning
Matt
coach.
File.
Bro, I see him on Twitter. The guy's a beast.
Yeah.
But before we talk about him, talk about your D coordinator, man. How's the whole transition from your previous defensive coordinator, the defensive style they have, to what you're running now at UNLV?
Right now we're in a base 3-4 defense. Originally at TCU we were at a 4-3. So, you know, being this new defense, you know, I changed positions. I'm outside linebacker now in our scheme. Coach Peter Hansen, you know, he talked to me, you know, in and out while I've been here, you know, moved me around, see where I fit best at, and he saw that outside linebacker was the best fit for me. I'm a tall, lengthy guy, can move a lot, you know. I'm able to chase down quarterbacks, running backs. I'm also able, big enough, strong enough to take on offensive tackles, tight ends.
Confidence, man. You
so I
hear
work
this?
out a lot.
You hear that?
You hear that? That's confidence
I
right
was
there.
born and bred in Twink.
Once again, this is another episode of Straight Bet Sports here on the Gorilla Cross Radio Network. Hanging out with Adam Plant Jr. and Pops Adam Plant Sr. in the building with us, talking some UNLV football. Now, what are you most excited about when it comes to getting this season started?
Allegiant Stadium.
That's it.
What's it look like?
Have you been inside
Yeah,
already?
been inside.
I haven't been inside yet, but
no.
a couple of my teammates and all of our coaches, you know, we took a trip to Allegiant Stadium last night, took a picture out there. So, you know, to see the final product of it, you know, something special. I can't wait to get inside there.
So out of all the people at UNLV that are part of the program, that are sponsors, I'm not sponsors, I'm sorry, people like Randall Cunningham, because I know he's an alumni. Has anybody like that reached out to you, like someone bigger from the past that's not part of the coaching staff or anything like that, to congratulate you on coming home or choosing to come back to UNLV?
Yeah, absolutely. I had a lot of my former high school teammates that were at UNLV reached out to me, talked to me. My whole team welcomed me with open arms. All the coaches welcomed me with open arms. A lot of the community reached out to me. A lot of local fans, a lot of former players that were there. So, you know, it's been a great experience. You know, everybody's, you know, very happy that I'm back home. You know, I don't want to disappoint anybody. You know, disappoint myself. You know, I'm ready to make everybody proud.
So another question I have for you: when you were in high school, Was there a college player that you looked up to and emulated your style after? And now that you're in college, do you have an NFL player that you look after that you try to emulate your style and you want to be like that?
Just growing up, my dad had me watch a lot of film on a lot of people. I would say my number one is Julius Peppers.
Okay.
To me, that's arguably the greatest defensive end of all time.
Ooh, okay.
College-wise, it was Jadeveon Clowney.
Okay.
Myles Garrett.
Okay.
There's a lot of dudes like that. Cleveland Farrell from Clemson.
Okay. Yes.
Vic Beasley from Clemson. Shaq Lawson.
Okay.
A lot of those guys.
So are you excited to have the opportunity to have the Las Vegas Raiders now here in your backyard, knowing that you're going to play in the same stadium? Those coaches can see you. You could get the opportunity that someone like Javin White is getting right now.
Right.
He's getting a lot of noise. People are talking real good about him, saying he might be that one guy that's going to come out and surprise everybody. Are we going to hear that about you? Are we going to see that from you? Are we going to hear down the road Adam Plant Jr., D lineman, Las Vegas Raiders? Is that something that you would love, or at the end of the day, it's just I want to make it to the league?
My dad told me this. It's not just about making it. We shoot for the stars and land on the moon. So we shoot for the first pick in the draft. So that's my
first
goal.
pick
That's
in
my
the
mindset.
draft. So what are you gonna do to make that happen, or what are you already putting in place now to make that happen?
I'm working hard every day. I'm in my playbook. I'm in the gym every day. I got pops here with me. I got moms with me. My family right here beside me. I got my coaches with me. All my teammates. So I'm gonna ride this thing till the wheels fall off, man. I'm not looking back.
So it's safe to say that you're 100% back in your comfort zone. Not saying you weren't at TCU, but now that you got everything here, your home support, you got the coaches right here backing you up, doing what you got to do. You got a lot of your old high school buddies supporting you as well. You're good, right?
Absolutely.
You're in the right spot.
Yes, sir.
It's good that you came home. And not
Best
only
decision I ever made.
I was talking to him last night to let him know he's gonna come on the show. And he, sir. So I'm like, I appreciate the respect. I'm like, just call me Jose. It's all good. But
You
that's
are
good.
older.
But that just goes to show.
You are a lot
that just
older.
goes to show what Pops got. What Pops instills in him, what the family does.
When you have a father and a strong mother in your life,
Yep.
it better come out like that.
It better come out like that.
That's awesome.
So right before the show started, I'm gonna put you on the spot. I'm gonna put some pressure on you. We're gonna see you at UNLV for a few years. We know it's not a one and done situation.
Right.
Pop said you're gonna break the career sack record, which right now stands at 28
28.
sacks UNLV career.
What other records we breaking?
Are you gonna break that record?
Every record possible for me to break, I'll try to break it.
Okay.
Love the mentality.
How many sacks? That's what I want to know. How many sacks are we gonna see from you year one here at UNLV? What are you shooting for? Realistically, like what are you shooting for?
Realistic, I never try to set a number for myself, but if we had to throw a number out there, I'm gonna say 15 or better.
Wow.
Let me write that down.
15.
What's today's date? Today's the 2nd. He said he's gonna get 15. Nah, but that's good, man. I like the positivity. I like the confidence, and that's good. But I like the fact how you answered that question. You're team first guy,
Right.
and that's good. That's really good.
If I could intervene real
Yeah.
quick, as far as defensive ends for Bishop Gorman, he has the sack record. He had 22
I did not
sacks
know that.
record. He had 22 sacks in 2017.
And that record still stands till today.
Yeah, so there was a kid that was an outside linebacker that went to Oklahoma. I think he had 28 or 29.
Okay.
He's an outside backer. But as far as defensive ends that played at Bishop Gorman, Adam Plant Jr. has the most sacks ever.
So then it's safe to say that, not to throw out the personal accolades, but 28 should be something you could definitely shoot for.
Right.
28 total should definitely be something you could shoot for.
Absolutely.
I'm looking forward to it, man. Now, last thing, Pop said that this is the first time you guys have done a show together.
Yeah.
Is that you a little nervous that he's sitting next to you, or you just
Not at all.
all good?
Yeah.
Talk about the previous show you were on, because you said this is the second show that you've done so far.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a lot more.
Yeah, it's, one of my
you know?
former teammates, one of my really good friends, Jackson Bozarth. He has his own podcast as he does. Sat down to talk, a little backyard football talks with him. He's just getting off the ground right now, but it's gonna do very well for him real soon.
Once again, he is Adam Plant Jr., D lineman, UNLV, transfer from TCU, decided to come back home. We got him in studio. Final thought before we let you go, personally, because we're going to jump in with both of you guys and talk to you and your dad now collectively as well. What can people expect from you moving forward for your UNLV career? And where can they go ahead and follow you social media-wise? What do you use more than anything?
You're gonna see a lot of hard work. I expect greatness from myself, so that's all you're gonna get from me, nothing less. You can follow me on Instagram at APJ1, on Twitter APJ1.
There you go.
Yes, sir.
Adam Plant Jr. in the building. Rob, I feel like I just talked, bro. You don't say nothing. You
No,
got
well,
you got any questions for him?
Kinda
Anything you
ran
wanna
it. I
ask?
actually had questions about Allegiant, but he
There you
answered
go.
them. No,
Anything
I already
else?
answered. He already answered. He hasn't been there yet. I'm surprised. But y'all practicing? You guys practicing right now?
The
No,
practice
no.
starts next
So
week,
we're just
right?
Working out right now.
Working out. Practice
Yeah.
start next week, and then the season's supposed to start. There's a tentative date. Is it springtime? It's moved. They moved to
Spring, right? You guys
Yeah,
moved
it
to
should be
March?
sometime in the spring. We don't have a set date for it yet.
March. Okay.
So are you gonna be at some of these practices?
Man, I'm gonna be if I ain't delivering cheesecake, or if I'm not at my daughter. You know, my youngest daughter runs track for Bishop Gorman. So once
Okay.
they get started back at, if I'm not at her track meet, I'm at what?
What?
Yes, sir.
You better believe I'm gonna be there.
Man, this is the most exciting time of my life, man. This is my only
It
son.
has to be right.
So-
it would have to be.
And-
I'd be
and-
right there for my son too.
And like you said, the father-son relationship that we have is he always respects me as his father, but we're more like this is my best male
You guys are
friend.
like boys. You guys
know
are
what I
like
mean?
boys. Yeah.
Because I was 22 when I had him, so
Okay.
I'm about to be 45. He's about to be 21 in February, so
Okay.
I was 24. Excuse me, 24. I got my math wrong. But yeah, we just have a really, really great father-son relationship. Something that I never had with my dad. My dad was 60 when he made me, so
Okay.
he passed away. Actually, he died in January 2000, and Junior was born in February. So I wish he could have seen him, but
Okay.
that is one of the things that just makes us even that much more closer, because I know everything that I lacked with my father, I wanted to make sure that we had. You know what I mean? So it's really special between us.
That's good, man. That's good to hear. I didn't have my dad growing up. I reunited with him when I turned 18, and we've been solid ever since.
Right.
I don't care about the past. It is what
Yeah,
it is. I'm glad
yeah,
I have him now.
yeah.
So that's great to see that you guys have a bond like that, because like you guys said, not everyone has that.
Right,
And you
right,
guys
man.
do. So that's great to hear, man. Has he ever been at one of your games though, and maybe you're not playing up to your potential, and you just happen to look up? No. You happen to look.
Oh yeah, man.
And you,
Hey,
and you happen to look at one, and you're like, I gotta get going. Or what am I gonna do here?
Every game since Little League, since I've been playing football.
Really?
You're going to hear him, you're going to hear my mom. No matter how loud the crowd is. I remember my first game at TCU, there's a crowd of 50,000 plus people.
Wow. Yeah.
And the first people that I hear are my mom, my dad in the stands, and I instantly know where they at.
That's
So,
insane.
it's been instilled in my head since I was 8. So, I always try to put my best foot forward, but, when I'm not doing my best, Pop's going to put his foot in me. He going to make sure I'm getting right.
But it's good to hear though, right? It's
Right.
good. It's good to know that you got that there.
Yeah.
Like I grew up playing sports. My mom was a single mom. She worked all the time. She couldn't
Right.
come to my games.
Right.
Pops wasn't there, so all I had was coaches that knew me, people that worked at the parks that
Right.
took care of me or whatever it was.
Right.
So I get that, man. When you got someone there, it's awesome, man. That support system is
Well,
amazing.
that's what really made it that way for me. Me coming up, I was raised in Rialto, California.
Okay.
So I'm from LA, but we moved to Rialto when I was 6.
Okay.
So all of my sports, which was my first sport was baseball, then basketball. My mom just was not a sports person. My daddy wasn't there. My mom, so it was my mom.
Okay.
And then I had an older brother, but he was gang banging. So
You didn't want to be around that.
I was
You
I was
were,
I
but-
was in it.
Okay.
But I seen the gangster lifestyle was nothing that was interesting. I mean, it influenced me for a short part of my life, but I seen that those dudes had nothing else going for them, and I said, man, I don't want to be a follower.
I got you.
And then the path they're going down ain't where I want to be. So I want to be an athlete. So most of my childhood sports was based on inner drive, me, really, really pumping myself up. And I remember the first year I played basketball, I scored like 6 points the whole season. And I was sorry at first, but I just had to learn my body. So the next year I lost some weight and everything. I got a little faster.
Okay.
I was always a kid that had rhythm. I could play the drums and the pop lock and all that stuff. So I had good feet. I just had to get it.
You used to pop lock?
Oh man, I tell anybody ass up to this day, to this day. But once I had started learning my body a little better, the next year in basketball I was like top 10 scorer.
Okay.
But I remember being in the games and I'd be like, damn, I wish, I had my mom here. I wish I had my dad here. I wish I had that. So that mindset, all through my childhood, going into my teenage years, I would always say one day that when I became a father, if I have a son and my daughters, but especially if I have a son, I want to be everything that I yearned for as a kid. And for that to actually happen, and like I said, my wife put the football in his hand first because I was like, I'm not going to force the game on him.
I get you.
And he has to really come to me and say, Dad, this is what I want to do. So when I was working for Snoop. That's when I used to bring him out to the Pomona Steelers for
Okay.
Snoop Dogg's team. And Snoop used
The
to
league, yeah, right?
Yeah. Snoop used to be like, hey, cuz, he need to play, cuz. He need to play. He need to play, cuz. And like you said, he came the first couple of practices, he was into it. But then my wife had pulled me to the side and was like, babe, Junior don't really want to play. And I had my daughter cheerleading, and she didn't really want to cheerlead. So I was like, damn, y'all, I'm driving y'all from we were living in Lakewood at the time.
Okay.
And I had changed my shift from 3 to 11 to 11 to 8.
Okay.
So I can bring him out to practice. And man, once my wife pulled me to the side and was like, he don't really want it. I was like, damn, come on, Junior, man, come on, man. Why? I'm doing all this, man, come on. But like I said, I wasn't gonna force it on him. So when we moved out to Vegas the next year and I started working for Floyd, when the football season started, another one of my childhood friends who was a coach out here, he was coaching the the NYFL, the rookies, the coach rookies. And so that was around August. My son said, I asked him, I said, son, you want to play football now? He was like, Dad, I want to play football. I said, okay. So that year, man, just seeing him take his first hit and crying and run to the side, Dad, he hit me. I'm like,
What changed?
Get your
What
ass in here.
changed?
After he got hit, it's like, going in that same game, like the first quarter, but then maybe like the third and fourth quarter, he went into his zone. And that year when he got his first sack, I mean, at 8 years old, because he was playing with all 10-year-olds, and he was only 8-year-old, but he was always a tougher kid.
Gotcha.
So when he got that sack, man, and I seen how he reacted after the game, I said, what position you want to play? He's like, Dad, I want to be a DN. I like
Nice.
sacking the quarterback. And so it's like Joe Jackson with Michael Jackson, Floyd Mayweather Sr. with Floyd Mayweather Jr.
Yeah.
When your dad sees the talent in you and he played that sport, it's up to him to help you harness that and make sure that you can become the best that he know you can become because you came from him.
Yep, definitely.
So I know what kind of football player. I got to an NFL camp and I never played that down in high school football. So I know that my son playing in the same position since he was 8 years old with my training. And then, his mom really got into football a lot. He couldn't help but to win.
Yeah.
So as the years just progressed, when he was 10 years old, man, it's a funny story. He was playing with the Rebels, as he mentioned earlier, and we were in a park, and in that park, it was like the 10, 11-year-old team, the 12, 13-year-old team, and I guess the 7 to 8-year-old. So we all had our little sections in the park, right? So him and this kid and one of his friends, we're doing the drill where we line them up at like 10 yards apart.
Okay.
Adam hit this kid so hard. It sounded like somebody chopped a tree down with the biggest axe they could find. It was like, bow. And it was crazy. Everybody stopped. And the kid's dad, who was coaching, I think, the 12 and 13-year-olds, he came over. He was like, man, I had to come over here and say, who was that?
What was that?
But the trip was, I didn't want to tell him, that was your son and my son cracked. So, yeah, but that when he was 10, I knew that I had something special, man. And going into 11, maybe like a month after he turned 11, I put him in his first football camp, which is called Football University Camp, FBU.
Okay.
And this is on YouTube. Y'all can
Look it up.
Look it up. He did one-on-ones with a 17-year-old high school lineman. He was 11. He had just turned 11.
How tall were you at 11?
5'4".
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he beat.
That's it?
Look,
James is like, wow.
But dig this. He beat the dude twice. Now I was like, how in the hell can an 11-year-old beat a 17-year-old on the line? I'm a lineman.
Yeah.
I ain't never seen that happen. I ain't even heard it. I never would imagine even seeing that visually.
Gotcha.
But to see my son do that, I mean, like whooped him, like off the line, whoop, gone. And the guy who was coaching the drill, he had coached in the NFL for like 20 years. He pulled me to the side. He said, "Sir, you got something special in your kid." He said, "I've all the years I've been coaching, I've never even seen that." And so it just excited me, man, because like I just had alluded to, I know where I was at 11. I was nowhere near my son.
So you
know what
saw
I'm
the
saying?
talent.
Oh,
You saw
yeah,
it there.
Yeah,
Pure.
He's like everything I wish I was
I
at
got
that
you.
age. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man, just to be there, man. Like with all three of my kids, I was in the delivery room to cut all of their umbilical cords. You know what I'm saying? I was there. I was there to deliver all three of my children. So that is the best thing about being a dad. I've been there, but like I said, with him being my only son and him doing what I did, but even better, it's just a treat, man. Because it's like I could talk to you as a father, but it's not like talking to you as someone who's been under the helmet and who's gone through everything that you've gone through. So when he had like different situations in college, you know, I wasn't one of the top recruited offensive tackles coming out of junior college, but because my coaches didn't think I was going to develop into the player I became, they withheld telling me about the time clock situation. So I actually started junior college in the fall of '93.
Okay.
Where my time clock started because I took 18 units.
Okay.
They didn't tell me to stay at 11 and a half so I can keep my eligibility. They just let me do what I
Continue.
did because, you know, I basically came to them out of a band. So they didn't think, you know, too much of me. So when I lost 100 pounds and molded myself into a Division I prospect, it was, I had played all the way up to 96.
Okay.
You know, 93, 94, I was messing up and then played 95, 96. So after 96, I had like 30 Division I offers, but everybody was like, "Damn, we checked we looked at your
Credits.
credits and what did they call that?
Transcript?
Transcripts.
Yeah.
Looked at your transcripts, man. You started school in '93." I was like, "Yeah, but I didn't play." They was like, "Yeah, but you took 18 units." And I went to my head coach, rest in peace. I was like, "Coach, man, why you didn't tell me this, man?" He was like, "Well, Adam, well, you know, you came to us from a band, and we didn't think you were going to develop." He's like, "But you know, you still go Division II." And I was like, "Man, I want to hear that, man." And shit, I got University of Oregon right now ready to give me a scholarship, man. So at that time, me and Achilles Smith was getting recruited at the same time. The
Yeah, I
former
remember
quarterback.
Achilles Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cincinnati
So,
Bengals.
yeah,
Bengals.
so
Penn State, right? Was it?
Oregon. He went to
Oregon.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So the defense coordinator name was Don Pelham. So he came. He was like, "Man, look, Plant. I just went and got Achilles Smith from San Diego, San Diego Mesa. He junior college came out of. He got him. He's like, I need an offensive tackle to protect him. So that I'm coming to get you." And man, I was all set to go. He called me the night before I was supposed to take my trip to Oregon. He called me. I was working at Vaughn's grocery store, and I got the call. They were like, "Adam, line one." I'm like, "Oh, okay." I was expecting the call. "What's up, coach?" "Plant, man, I was looking at your transcripts, and we can't trip you." I'm like, "What you talking about, coach?" So, man, yeah,
Man.
you know, all those little things, man, the little bumps and bruises that I went through, that's what made me passionate about my son's career. So I tell him, you know, having the blessing of this being his another chance to play Division I college football, and then he still got 3 years left if you want to use all three.
Got it.
You know what I
Nice,
mean?
yeah.
But I think he's gonna wrap that up too. That's the plan. That's
Okay.
the plan.
Send
But
in early.
like I say, everything that I tell him at this point, and now he's a man. It's like, you know, we talk like, dude, all right, do it like this, do it like this. You know what I'm saying? Put your Adam Plant Jr. on it.
Yeah. Put
But-
your stamp on it.
But you know, if I see something that I can help you with, I'm gonna do that. Now, you know, unfortunately, I still thought I had it. And 2 or 3 weeks ago, we were doing some one-on-ones, and he whooped my ass off the ball. I said, "Gosh, damn!"
I want to see a video of that. That'd be nice.
Yeah, he got me. He got me in a couple of, but you know, he tried to do an inside move, and I jammed him up. So I was like, "Okay, you know, I ain't teach you that." So, but man, it's just been a pleasure, man, to see. First of all, what kind of man he's become.
Yep.
That's the most important. You know what I mean? And how the life lessons that me and his mom have taught him that he's implemented into the way he carries himself and his conduct, and just to see how you know, he just represents himself, man. It makes us proud as parents. You know what I mean? So that's the best thing, and the football is just added treat to it all. You know, so yeah, man.
Once again, he is Adam Plant, senior of Tasty Treats now. We
Tasty
got
Teas,
Tasty Teas.
Cheesecake.
We got to go ahead and throw that out there. We
Yes,
got
sir.
Adam Plant Jr. from UNLV in the studio with us as well. Now, I want to go away from the football bit if you're good with that. I do want
Let's do
to,
it, man.
for my
Come on.
listeners that have not seen you on podcasts or talked to you, for the people that do know about you, they know about your non-football career.
Bodyguard.
You were a bodyguard for Floyd Mayweather, and most recently as well, I remember you talked about on the previous show, Tekashi 6ix9ine. So those are
Yeah.
the two people that I kind of want to talk about.
Okay.
We got about 10 more minutes here, so we'll jump into it.
Let's do it.
Floyd Mayweather, how was your experience with him? Because I know you've talked about it before, but was it really crazy? Was it wild? Or is it just
What you have to remember, you know, I was Snoop Dogg's bodyguard for 7 years prior to
Correct.
Floyd. So I'm gonna say the craziest things that I experienced as bodyguard was mostly with Snoop, because I went around the world actually.
You toured with him.
I've been from Iceland all the way down to New Zealand.
Really?
With Snoop Dogg.
Okay.
And everywhere we went, we got the blue carpet treatment. You know,
The blue carpet treatment.
you know, because you know he was performing, he was doing concerts.
Yeah.
So I mean, man, I've met any type of celebrity you can even think of, man. I met because I was with Snoop. You know what I mean? So,
It
but
opened up more doors, basically.
yeah, well, that was my intro. You know what I mean? Snoop. You know,
How many did he have at that time? How many bodyguards did he have at that time?
I was the first like big dude because I played on Snoop's semi-pro team when I came from Canada. So we had got cool with football. He used to love how I used to pancake people. So you know,
It was easy.
Yeah, his head of security asked me. He was like, "Man, hey man, that stuff you be doing on the field, man. Homie, you think you can do that in real life?" I said, "Yeah, right." So that's how I got on the security staff. But man, all the experiences I had with him going around the world, meeting everybody, man. I mean, I've been in the studio with Dr. Dre, with Puffy, with Timberland. I've been next to Snoop right there. You know, like we sitting right here. So it'd be me, Snoop, and whoever it is. So all those experiences, man, were great. So it just came to a point where, you know, I wanted to move to Vegas.
Okay.
And so the job opportunity came up. One of my buddies that had got hired with me with Snoop had left several months before me, and he got on with Floyd. And then he asked me one day, he's like, "Hey, man, if I can get you in with Floyd, would you want to come?" And I just wanted to change the place, man. So me wanting to move to Vegas, and then the job coming up was like, okay, let's do it. So when I got with Floyd, man, everything that I didn't experience with Snoop, it was a new experience with Floyd as far as the boxing world now. So I had all the rap experience and all that stuff. Now was adding to the resume was the boxing side.
Gotcha.
So working with Floyd, man, it was I had some good days. I had more bad days.
Okay.
I mean, just to be honest.
I get you.
What's that do to?
Me and Floyd, we're two dominant mindsets.
Okay.
So I respect that if I'm working for whoever I'm working for, I respect that if I'm coming to you as an employee, it's your camp and it's to be run how you want it to be run.
Correct.
I totally understand that, but I'm not going to be the one to tell you you're right when you're wrong. I'm not going to be the one that follows the crowd and, you know, yeah, and being a yes man when I'm my own man.
Correct.
So my thing was, Floyd, you hired a man. You hired an independent man who stands on his own principles, morals. So if I feel you wrong about something, I'm gonna tell you.
Yep.
And to him, that wasn't always kosher.
Wasn't his cup of tea. Yeah,
man. So, you know, the experiences of being with the Canelo, you know, doing that whole tour, the Pacquiao,
You were there for all the prime ones.
I walked him in the ring with Conor McGregor, with
yeah.
Canelo.
Nice.
I walked him in the ring. So those were great experiences, man. So, you know, I take nothing away from what I gained from my experience. And, you know, I would bring my son around so that he can see the limelight
I
and
gotcha.
that side of life.
Let them see the two sides of everything.
Yeah. So everything that I gained from that experience, like I said, man, it was a lesson learned. You know what I mean? Whether it was good or bad, I took it and used it to further my progress. You know what I mean? So going from Floyd to Tekashi, I'll tell people like this. I don't have one bad thing to say about Tekashi 6ix9ine. And people can say, man, he ratted and all this and that. Tekashi, as a rapper, paid me more money than any rapper I ever worked for.
Really?
I was making $700 a day with Tekashi 6ix9ine. $700. Now, if you paying me $700 a day, you looking at and helping me looking out for me and my family, I ain't got nothing to say bad about you. And then, you know, I call him Daniel.
That's what I was going to get to. That. You call him by his name is what I remember. Yeah.
I call him Daniel. You know, the times that I got to pull him to the side, man, being from South Central Los Angeles, man, I know, you know, about every gang situation.
Yep.
So I would pull him to the side as much as possible, like, Daniel, man, you got to stop playing with this shit. This shit can get you killed, man. And I was always, I remember telling him one day, I'm like, Tupac and Biggie, two of the best that ever was, are both gone.
Yep.
Coming to, you know, LA and Vegas, but dealing with LA cats, you know what I mean? So what you doing, you playing with your life, man. Although it's not right that we got to live in such circumstances, but it is what it is. And if you say you people from LA look at it like this: if you say you a Crip or a Blood, and you're not from Los Angeles, you just get looked at a different way anyway.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
100%.
And if people deal with you who are in those gangs who are from LA, it's because it's a underlying factor that or something that they're gonna want from you
Correct.
in the future, or it's they gonna use that to their advantage. You know what I mean? So
What would he say? What was his response to that?
man, these dudes, they don't know, man, they don't know. And I would just, keep pressing him like, man, stop, dog. You 20 something years old, man. You don't know about this, man. You it's like, I think he was more intrigued like a fan of this lifestyle. You know what I'm saying?
That's how he
So-
treats it.
And that's what he wanted to be. That's what he was claiming to be. But me being from South Central, knowing what it is, dog, you not that. So I would tell him, man, you've been blessed to be in a situation. Make your money, man. And you got a daughter. Make your money. Do
Hey.
your music, man.
You know anybody else that still works for him currently? I mean, how many does he
one-
have now? How many
One guy, but the rest of them dudes is like, I think, like,
does he pay him more than? I mean, I'm sure it's
something-
got to be.
he
right now, it's
he
pretty
gotta- yeah,
crazy.
he got to break off. He got to break them dudes off,
Right,
They
because they're not-
targets. You know. what
Yeah,
I mean?
exactly.
The other guy you used to work with from the Great Wall, is he
Big
still
Church.
working with him?
Nah,
No, he's not? Okay.
Nah,
Big,
nah.
big, big
Not too many
church.
people would
Big
take
church,
that.
yeah.
Not too many people would take that job right now.
Nah, and I
And the way he's doing it too, man, he's trolling. Like,
Yeah, he's trolling out there.
I
He's
I know
out
it's not
there.
sports related, but
I took some flack. Well,
Did they offer you to come back?
So-called flack. Nah. Once he left, I was through with that. But got different guys I knew from LA, from Compton, from different places. Calling my phone like, hey man, you need to get at him.
oh, because they knew he was his
wow.
bodyguard. Yeah,
Right. Because I'm still well respected in LA,
I
man.
got you.
From Crips, Bloods, and all kind of neighborhoods.
I
you
see
know
you
what I mean?
going out there. I see you on Instagram.
and people really know, I'm from the city.
Yep.
So I've never broke ties to the street, although, I'm a grown man. I'm far beyond that, but I still always keep a tie to the streets, because if you don't, man, it can be bad. You know what I mean? Because the clients that I have had, you best believe that people have been watching them like a hawk, and the only reason why some of them didn't get pressed because they was with me.
I got you.
And some guys
Out of respect to
some
you.
guys don't really realize that, but they know.
Throw it out
I
there.
ain't gonna say no
Let
names,
it be
but they
known.
know. But yeah, man.
Good stories, man.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I want.
Just
I
go
know
in the
some of it's
background.
not
We could do a whole
sports
other
related,
show.
but-
We could do a whole
Yeah,
other show just on
exactly.
that. Just on
man,
that.
I
I
could talk
just-
about the bodyguard world for you for
Oh
hours.
I
man,
know.
definitely. We gotta get you back on again and do a whole show, but that would be fun. But
Yeah, man.
before I let you guys go, though, I greatly appreciate you guys again being in studio. I gotta let you plug Tasty Teas.
Oh, come
Talk
on,
about
man.
it real quick, briefly, and let people know where they can find it and where they can find you, all the way around.
Plain and simple. Everybody that's listening, everybody who's watching this. If you love cheesecake, if you don't love cheesecake, Tasty Teas Cheesecake, which is made by my wife, Tamika Plant, and distributed by me, Adam Plant, are the best tasting cheesecakes on the planet Earth. The reason why I say this, everybody who has had our cheesecakes with one taste, everybody say immediately, this is the best damn thing I ever had.
And it's the small ones, right?
What
you-
the small ones are just the mini version of the
Because I
big
saw the ones you took to Gary Owen and
yeah. Those are those are mini cheesecakes.
Okay,
And
got it,
a
got it.
lot of times people like those because it's just more convenient.
different
to-
assortments of it. Okay,
we
gotcha.
can bring you every flavor, and
Okay.
it's a smaller portion size. But we
Okay.
make every flavor in a whole cheesecake as well.
okay. I didn't know that.
My wife had been making these for years. It's just that I was doing bodyguard, and I was just
Not
more
enough time.
I was more focused on that.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? So it wasn't until last year when I came home. I was working with Sweetie, and I came home right before my birthday. I was about to turn 44, and I was like, "Babe, I'm tired of doing this bodyguard shit. We gonna take off with these cheesecakes. Let's go do it." So
Nice.
we took it to our lawyer, got the business license, tax ID, LLC, and all that shit.
Patent everything, all
Patent
that.
everything,
Cool.
man. We good. Trademark the logo. This is ours. I've seen somebody wearing this shit and I ain't prove of it. Oh, it's on.
We
But
got
yeah,
a
man.
problem.
Yeah,
I
man.
wanna
So,
try it.
Yeah.
so what's great about this whole thing now is that, Junior is doing what he's doing at UNLV. Me and wifey got our business going. Our daughter's doing, our oldest daughter graduated from Nevada Reno. She's about to
Nice, okay.
start on her master's. Our baby girl is running track, and she's like a 4.2 student at Bishop Gorman. So our whole family is doing well in Las Vegas. So we came from LA. We came
Blessed.
here and we elevated the whole family. You know what I mean? So the ultimate thing would be, you know, people to come here and see Adam getting the sacks,
Yeah.
and then after the game,
His 28 sacks
yeah,
in his
after,
career.
after the game, they all go to Tasty T's.
And that's it. Call it a wrap.
Yeah, make it a whole Vegas weekend.
There it is, man. Once again, he is Adam Plant Sr. of
Yes,
Tasty
sir.
Teas
Yes, sir.
Cheesecakes and Adam Plant Jr. in the studio with us from UNLV, D Lyman. Greatly appreciate you guys coming in the studio.
We thank
We're going to
you
have you
for having
guys
us.
again soon.
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
yeah, definitely. Best of luck this season. Let's keep in contact, man. Don't shy away.
Oh, yeah.
Anytime you want to come back, my casa, su casa, you're more than welcome to come
And
back.
let me leave that number for people if they want to order the
There you go.
cheesecakes.
Drop
Please
it.
hit me,
Drop it.
Adam Plant, at 702-443-8769. Just leave me your name, your order, and your address.
One
And
more
I-
time.
702-443-8769. And I will bring you the world's greatest tasting cheesecakes wherever you're at. I deliver them to you, right to your door.
There we go. He is Adam Plant Sr. and Adam Plant Jr. Greatly appreciate you guys joining us. James, if we could just get them off screen now, because we are going to talk about something that we don't want to get anyone in trouble. So, Rob, to end up the show, I know we got to close it out here. Our pick segment of the night. Last week, they pushed the
Yeah.
game back. It was postponed for one night.
You
they
try to
pushed
get
it
out of
back.
it too.
You had the under. I had the over. You won. So that puts us both at 1-2 on our picks of the season this year.
Wah, wah, wah.
I'm going to go ahead and do it right away. I'm taking Boston plus the 1 tomorrow.
Oppo. That was my Oppo again.
You got
Let's
Toronto
go.
plus 1?
I got my
minus
first one
1?
of the season off of you. So, yeah, I'll take another one from you. I'll take that W. That's down 0-2. I think the Raptors going to pull this one out. I don't think they're going to go down 0-3 to the Celtics.
And there it is, man. Our pick segment of the week. If you guys are following us, we greatly appreciate you. Thank you to everybody that was in studio tonight. Adam Plant Jr., Adam Plant Sr., Joel B in the background, James doing everything he does for us behind the big board tonight since Quan took the night off. But we're going to go ahead and finish up with our final thought of the night, which is what I like to throw out. I'm going to just make it short, man. Prime example tonight, it's never a bad thing to come home. Good things happen when you come home. With that being said, I am Jose V. This has been another episode of Straight Bet Sports. Till next Wednesday, I'm out. Peace.
See ya.